everyone, and welcome to another episode of Be All You Can Be with Dr. B. I am Dr. Monique Baucham, Provost here at Brazosport College, and I have some amazing guests with me today. We're going to talk today about our new facilities master plan and all the things that are happening around the BC campus. So I'd like to begin by introducing this dynamic team. We have Dr. Lauren McCormick, who is Assistant Vice President of Student Success.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Right. We also have Dr. Tracee Watts, who is our Senior Vice President of Advancement and Student Success.
You're great to be here.
All right. We have also our amazing, dynamic, and just all around great guy, Randall Tandy, our Director. Chief of Facilities.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
I'll
welcome.
let you introduce a little more. You make you feel good. Glad to be here.
And then we also have our Senior Vice President of Administration, and that is Dr. McGonagle.
Howdy, glad to be here.
All right. Listen, this team has assembled some of the most amazing master plan designs that we've actually seen in quite some time. So, our first question here is to Randall. Randall, what kind of inspired the facilities master plan?
Sure. Yeah, master plans normally you see in higher education every 10 to 15 years, right? You have to realign yourself with academics, the future of the college, technology, advancement, and have to, get the facilities in order to make sure that we're able to hit that student success that we're looking. So our old master plan had expired around 2022. And so it was time to relook and reevaluate kind of our goals and our vision of where we need the facilities to head.
That's awesome. Didn't realize that a master plan could actually expire, and then we need to re up. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, you look at technology, right? It changes so fast. And we've got to stay up current, and facilities plays a part with making sure that we can accomplish the student success with that. And so yeah, you've got to reevaluate that. And as fast as technology is changing today, and we could almost probably shorten that time frame.
Yeah.
In our reevaluation. So yeah, it's a great process.
Brad, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Randall's correct, and the way the process unfolds is on the facilities master plan is we started out with what's called a facilities condition assessment, where we bring in an architect engineering firm that actually identifies the areas on campus that can be improved and areas that could be redesigned to meet the success goals of the campus. And we did that in
22.
22.
Mhm.
And then we took those findings and then we identified which projects would be the best fit for our campus going forward. And that's how we arrived at the 8 projects we have in play now.
You all did such a great job with involving the campus through the design phase. And you all talk a little bit about how that impacted student success areas.
Absolutely. It was a really great opportunity for us to take a look at our processes, how we're currently our students, and then how can we serve our students based on what they need and how they're interfacing with Brazosport College. So we thoroughly enjoyed that unique opportunity to be able to review that, hear from the student feedback. We utilize the secret shopper reports that we've done here at Brazosport College, just how students are navigating the campus. We also used the texting platform that we use with Fred the Gator, our mascot, to hear directly from the students and their student voice. And then also with meeting with our various teams and their goal setting program processes that we were doing for strategic planning to really hear their voice and see what is the best way that we can design this facilities master plan to serve the best success of our students and help them to get enrolled here at the college.
All right. Lauren, would you mind talking a little bit about sort of the move that has recently happened with our student success employees?
Sure. I will say that I am so grateful for our facilities team, our IT team, and our wonderful movers. This was something that had been in the process for several months, very well coordinated. But what we had originally planned for taking about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, we were actually able to move our teams in about a week, and it was a little over 50 people that we moved from one building to another. And so just the coordination of those efforts, the willingness of the teams to be flexible, it worked really well, and they have settled in nicely in their new temporary home. And so we are functioning as a well-oiled machine over there, as truly an enrollment services team that's there to see students from the beginning of their journey all the way through to graduation and beyond.
I've had a chance to visit our employees more than a few times, and one of the things I have just walked away with each time is the attitude and the tenacity of the teams that, they had to move and they've had to get adjusted, and even going from having personal offices to now having cubicles in some space. I think that the team is locked into seeing what the future will be. And that's wonderful, but to know that their attitudes have been great, through this entire time. We've actually talked about, boxes and things and files that actually needed to actually be removed or shredded or something along those lines, just so that now we can make that clean break. And when we move back into the space, it will actually be a space that will be new and refreshing and decluttered, if you will. But I mean, to know that our teams have had such a great attitude about it, I think has been rewarding. Also, would love to give a shout out to IT and our Chief Information Officer, who is Brian Commons. And he's not here today, but we want to make sure that we acknowledge both him and the IT team for doing such an amazing job of getting everybody transitioned and up and running so quickly. How was this on your team and facilities?
Oh, it's been great. You know, what you're saying with the faculty and staff has been, that has helped us transition more than anything. Even whenever we started this master plan and trying to develop the projects and hear from everyone. I remember when we worked with our peer team on doing surveys. Normally they were saying, yeah, surveys are getting maybe under 20% response rates. We had almost 60, a little over 60% response rate on those. It was amazing at the excitement that the faculty and staff had here. And so working with them through this whole process has made it a lot easier just on the facilities department, the IT department. But everyone's been really amazing to help do this. But it's the vision, right? It's the why are we doing this? And we see that, and I think that's the power behind it.
Absolutely. I'd also like to make mention of the library staff. So the library staff, they had a pretty Herculean effort on their hands of emptying out all of the books that were actually on the second floor of the library. And so now what we will see in the future in that space, we will see maker spaces and what I am calling the read and relax area with comfortable chairs. And I've just asked them, please don't tell anybody I'm here so that I can listen to the book for the next 15, 20 minutes, something along those lines. And they have really been so involved in the design of what this will look like. We'll actually have more resources for
Mhm.
faculty members or any member of the staff to come in and they can host sessions in that space and be able to, not just in a conference room, but to have, more of a warm and welcoming space for different meetings. So, again, thank you all for the vision and for how that's moving forward. I'd also like to talk a little bit about how just some of these projects will transform the campus. What are your thoughts about the spaces in terms of just Gator Mart or the front end of the house? How will those transformative spaces impact the campus?
That's a great question, and I think what we'll find is one of the things when we were selecting an architect was how we could combine their talents with the needs of the campus, and one of the architect we selected is known for his wow factor. So I think our campus is gonna see and our external community is gonna see is a really well-planned and, committed project that results in a wow factor for the campus in terms of student success, community engagement, and all the things that it's designed to do. We're getting our money's worth of what we're looking for. In terms of what our staff and faculty will experience is amazing as well because where they're at now, like you said, the transition was a challenge. Our campus is incredibly resilient. They moved, no complaints. I think the key to that was what everybody's touched on so far is the preparation work and all the communication up front. But at the end of the day, when they move back, their space is gonna be remarkable. And the design of the space, having worked with all the end users, will facilitate the processes that make the campus successful. and that was the whole point with the initial work up front so that we could get it right on the back end.
Also would like to give a shout out to Charlie,
Yeah.
because I
Randall and I would quit if she
Yes, yeah, it has been phenomenal.
I have no idea how Charlie organized all the meetings and, just sat down and worked with all of the different groups, and then she took notes and the whole nine. And so we would be remiss if we did not shout out to Charlie, for helping us through this process. It also just speaks volumes about the input that campus was able to have
Mhm.
when you say that you have a 60% response rate on the survey. So kudos to you all.
Oh, it's impressive.
Can you talk a little bit about the new Gator Mart and what that will look like and how that will be impactful for our students?
We're excited. When we launched Gator Mart back in 2018, base over in Sadler Building, we really didn't think that we were gonna have the volume of innovation of Gator Mart that we in 1 month, we outperformed what we thought we were gonna do within 1 year. So from an idea that was one faculty member providing a sandwich to a student that was in their classroom that he could tell that the student hadn't eaten in several days based on weight loss, to then a desk drawer that had snacks in it, to then literally a closet that we took over in someone's office, then going to the Sadler Building with Gator Mart, and now being able to transition into a larger space is just a testament to the amazing and powerful work that the teams are doing within Gator Mart and the partnership that we have with the Houston Food Bank through the Food for Change initiative, and then also just the community partnerships that we have that continue to support additional needs that come through Gator Mart, whether that is being able to go to the grocery store to be able to buy stable food, to have additional food that we have in Gator Mart, diapers, formulas for our students that have children. So the new space, how we designed it in the Sadler Building that we're able to replicate and expand on over in the new space is truly a grocery store. We want to reduce the stigma, and we've been able to do that, of utilizing a food pantry so that students know that they are shopping in a grocery store. There are shopping carts. You go through and you pick out your own food from the shelves. You are able to package your own fresh produce in bags. And we see that students really enjoy their experience in Gator Mart. So being able to expand that to be able to serve our students so that maybe they don't have to wait in line to be able to go into Gator Mart. So now we're limited by the number of shoppers that we can have within the facility, but we'll be able to have more of that. But then also being able to build out a space that children that come with the students are able to have activities and play and be able to, also enjoy that is there is so extremely exciting. And just the utilization has been such a huge testament of the powerful work that it does.
Yeah. I think to add to, one of the parts that I'm really excited about is Gator Mart wouldn't be possible without the student workers that work in there and that unload the deliveries and get them ready to go out into the shelves. And so the prep space that they will have in this new area is going to be incredible. They'll be able to be more efficient, get things out quicker, and it'll just be a much more comfortable environment for them. So I'd be remiss if I didn't thank them for all of their hard work
Mhm.
too.
As we move into this new space, we also have some things that are going to be exciting for us to unveil. So let's talk a little bit about the front end of the house and what our students will see when they walk in moving forward.
That is an exciting part that Dr. McCormick and I are really excited to be a part of. A welcome center is something that I have felt the college has needed for a long time. And when you walk into our front entrance, individuals, whether they are current student, prospective students, members of the community, really don't know where to go. And so really having an inviting space when individuals walk in that is welcoming, that is providing direction, that is being able to help our community navigate campus is so exciting. And Dr. McGonagle mentioned just, coming into a new space. What I love about this new space is it's going to be open and airy and fresh and bright. And that alone is going to be very welcoming to the community whenever they walk in. So the Welcome Center, the idea behind it is that it's going to help everyone not only navigate campus and making sure everyone knows where they need to go. But it's also when students are coming in or prospective students, current students are coming in to register or to drop off forms or to schedule an appointment, whatever it may be, all of those needs are going to be able to be serviced in that welcome center. They're not going to be pushed or not pushed off. They're not going to be navigated between different departments to say can turn in your form at this place, but now I need you to go to this other department to answer that other question. The Welcome Center will be able to do all of that and get the students registration ready, meaning they're ready to talk to the advisor, they're ready to pick out their classes, talk about what career that they're interested in going into, and then navigate all of those enrollment services to be able to get registered and get into that classroom on the first day.
You know, I will say too, working with the student success teams, the design facilitates the new process. And so now what is transferred to the back actually currently is like a maze or was like a maze. The new process is open and it flows. And so that's something that will be noticed immediately because of the fact it's much smoother, much more accessible. I think our staffs will really appreciate it as far as the ease of the processes. So the design supports the processes.
And then you pull in even the cashier's office. You pull some of these services up, IT assistance. Now it's adjacent to the assessment center. Everything's right there. Area.
That's right. Earlier to this LC has been an opportunity to already start that process and changing processes and how we are servicing our students. One thing that Dr. Mills, who's our Dean of Student Success, Dr. McCormick, and I wanted to really focus on was rather than having separate departments, we are all one and we are enrollment services. And it is amazing to see how those teams are working in that enrollment services mindset as we all have a piece to this puzzle. And they're doing that now in a temporary home over in the corporate learning
They
center.
feel the interconnectivity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's also been a great opportunity for our teams to work collaboratively across departmental lines. So, right now in the CLC, we actually do have our enrollment services team, and of course, financial aid and advising and veterans affairs. But we also have our corporate training, the foot traffic. It will be so much better for both corporate training as well as small business simply because student success is housed in the CLC as well. So they will have, a different level of clientele that will actually be able to come into that space that they didn't even know was there previously. So this is an opportunity for us to work together even more so as a team. We've seen some incredible team dynamics with facilities and IT, and then all of our staff and faculty members. I'd also like to add that you all are also working on redesigning some of the classrooms as well. Some of the classrooms are actually being soundproofed. Then we are also adding in some of the additional IT pieces that will allow instructors to be able to teach a class that's in front of them while they're simultaneously teaching an online class. That's going to be a game changer for the campus, and then also contributing significantly more to student success for both the in person as well as the online experience. So I am excited about that. Let's talk a little bit about esports.
Hmm.
And what building that arena was like.
Yeah, so the esports was amazing. That was such a fun project. To see something that started out so small and grow as fast as it did was but yeah, really working with the team, coming together to design what does this facility need to look like? Um, that it was I mean, you're talking neon lights, you're talking glowing computers and there are very
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
But what's even more amazing is once we were able to cut that ribbon, open these up, it is the talk of the town. Not just the town, but it's the talk of the whole region, the area. I'm hearing people from all over going, "Oh, y'all have the esports program at the college." It's amazing, and it's just fun to have been a part of that. Such a dynamic team that we're able to cast these visions, and Jacob Ray's been phenomenal. Kind of with his vision casting on that, to be able to see that come to life is yeah, it's been, very engaging, so loved it.
I think that was one of the emerging trends that went into the planning phase of our expansion. And so we actually have what's coming up this weekend, our Legends Fest. And if I understand correctly, at last count, we have 82 teams that will be competing over in the DAC this weekend. And that started as a result of you all's contributions to creating an esports arena and casting rooms. I think some of our parents have even been impressed. Those that actually have the esports teams at the high schools. Some of the parents just really kind of thought, this is just gaming. There's no future in this. But the truth of the matter is that because of the arena that you all built and created here on campus, parents are able to see that these are actually careers. It's not just the gaming end of it or software development. There's also a production and management and casting and just announcers. There's so many things that these students can actually engage in, and they're getting firsthand experience while they're right here at Brazosport College. So I couldn't be more excited about that as well. And I want to thank you once again for working with the teams. And you got that built in how many months?
I think we did that in what, less than 4
Yeah,
months, maybe?
yeah,
4 months,
3 months.
roughly. Yeah. Yeah.
Quick and smooth.
Quick,
That was
quick,
awesome.
and yeah.
And or some of the work was done in-house. Some of our folks were on the project.
Yeah, it was one of those that we came together as a just a team, and said, "Hey, let's get this done. This is a fun project." Saw the vision, we saw what it could be, and everyone really pitched in and made it happen. It's yeah, it's impressive. But like you were saying, to understand all the logistics of the esports, that was, I think, the most eye opening to see all the areas that are involved in it. And now I've got my kids, they're in their 20s and stuff. They're going, I want to go to the esports program. You know? So yeah,
They want you to pay for it.
well, sure, of course.
Come on, we will enroll there.
Roll.
Well, listen, I think it's a great and creative way to get students that may have become disengaged, to get them re-engaged in an educational opportunity in a multi-billion dollar industry. So we're on the front end of that. We talked about a lot about how we got our internal input. How do we get community input into the design of these respective areas?
Well, all of these, we held a lot of town hall meetings. We wanted to make sure we were engaging the community in every part of their feedback is critical to any of design builds. They're part of this, right? And we're serving them. So we did a lot of town halls. We did a lot of smaller meetings with some of the leadership around the area and just kind of pulling their feedback. What are you hearing? What are you seeing? What are you experiencing? What could we do better to serve you? And so really, I think gaining that feedback was very critical to the development of the master plan and esports and all these projects we've done.
And the community embraced it. The focus
They did.
groups, they were well attended. They great feedback. We brought in the architects, brought in the contractors, so that the community population could see who was going to be working on our campus and where the dollars are being spent on those projects. Who was going to be working on them.
And a lot of these projects are so different in
Yeah.
design too, right? And so you're looking at a lot of different stakeholders. So it was a lot of different meetings, but the feedback was so amazing. I think the connections, the networking was great. But the feedback has just been amazing for all of it.
8 projects is a lot.
Yeah.
And we pared that down from 16. It was in
Yeah.
the initial report. So it's and all of that, 7 of them are renovation projects, and there's 1 new construction. But as a whole, we've been able to manage it with the same architect, the same contractor. We completed the design phase, and that's been and we're right on schedule. Wouldn't you say, Randall?
Yeah.
We're right on schedule. So the next phase will be getting the pricing from the contractor, and then going into demolition and construction, and hopefully we'll have some of them start finishing up towards the end of next year.
This is such an exciting project for our campus. Last question. Will our campus still be relevant in 10 years based on what we have designed today? I'd like to hear from each of you.
Of course. Yeah, that's the one of the primary questions when you go into a master plan. You don't think of how do I design the facilities for today? How do I design it for the future? Even though that's unknown, we have to take all areas into account Library, for example. What is the library of tomorrow? You're seeing everything going to ebooks, a lot less physical books, but there's so much interaction into the library. What does that look like? What are people after? How can we support the students in their classrooms with the library of tomorrow, right? And so you take all that into consideration. So yes, I think it will be relevant, but I think the key to any of these new designs that we're doing is multi-purpose. That way you are flexible with change in the future. You can adapt these spaces now. You don't have so many fixed assets within a room. Now you're able to move things around, rearrange to whatever the future does dictate. So that was a lot of what went into this design.
I would say the library is a great example because we have AI hubs in the library, the makerspace. Not only is it more proactive towards community engagement, it also touches into the opportunities for additional podcasts, music production, video production, things that are going to be relevant going forward for students in the curriculums that getting away from just the space that's going to be utilized in a library was previously utilized by books or house a book. Now we'll have space that will be creative and does promote the relevancy in the future.
Absolutely, we're gonna be relevant in 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 years, here within our community. But I'll piggyback off of what Randall was saying. Whenever we were thinking about what those spaces were gonna look like, it was not only how do we service our teams and our students today, tomorrow, but really into the future. So flexibility was one of those key things that we were looking at, not only in the structural design of it, the walls and those type of things, but also in the furniture that we were choosing is making sure that it is flexible, it is adaptable for all the changing needs because we are in a very rapid changing environment.
And I think when it comes to student success, we took all students into account. We know that there's been a shift to online learning since COVID. And so, really, how we serve students, all of that wraps into the design that went into the facilities master plan from the library to our enrollment services.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining us here on You Can Be with Dr. B. I'd also like to thank all of our community partners, our ISD, our employer partners that all had a hand in the redesign of Brazosport College. I cannot wait that we'll be looking back about 2 years from now, and we will be seeing a completely transformed campus. That's what this is all about. And again, our goal here is student success. We want to see our students empowered. We want to allow them to have creative spaces and then also to ensure that they promote uh, Brazosport College for generations to come. And one of those key things in order for us to do that is to have a relevant, vibrant, exciting campus. So 2 years from now, we'll be looking back saying, hey, you heard it first here on Be All You Can Be with Dr. B. Again, thank you all so much for joining us and have a great day.